Vigilante mode.
So I just put out a channel update. I think it's worth watching if you're interested in seeing like what the trajectory of Vigilante mode or V mode is. Check that out, give it a shot. It won't kill you. We're here to talk about Independence Day Resurgence. It's directed by Roland Emmerich. It stars Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, the Hemsworth brother that's a little less famous. What's his name again? Boom, here we go. It's not Hemsworth's acting, it's the character type and role I don't like. It's really more like the archetype that he plays, like this really arrogant character. He's not related to any of like the core characters. He's not like Jeff Goldblum's son, which maybe would have been kind of interesting. There's so many characters in this movie and I just didn't care about anybody. There was no emotional investment at all for me as a viewer. I did think it was nice to see Brent Spiner back. Brent Spiner plays Dr. Oaken. He's like kind of that like hippie scientist from the first one. He also plays Data on Star Trek, so it was nice to see like him working and doing stuff. And yeah, he was okay in the movie. The jokes and the dialogue, so unbelievably flat in this movie. I mean, just about every scene attempted to have humor in it, and it just either came at the wrong moment or just was poorly written or poorly acted. Act 1 of the film, I gotta say, was pretty boring. Dull, and when things started to happen, they were so bland. This movie really needed Will Smith. It needed like a Will Smith-like presence because Liam Hemsworth, that's his name, he doesn't have that charisma for me. Will Smith, I felt like, encompassed like a lot of what they were trying to do with all these different characters with just him and his presence. I think also that's like the benefit of having been the first movie and they were kind of like experimenting and didn't really know what they had until it was released. One thing I liked about this movie is that it did update like a lot of that technology, and they did give you a sense of what would happen if there was like an alien invasion and we retained a lot of their technology. So the logic was sound. The CGI was pretty good. We got a little bit more up close and personal with the aliens this time, which I guess was kind of alright. I kind of liked it. They were creepy and weird and awkward and flip-floppy, and that was cool. I appreciated that. I love Jeff Goldblum. He was just pretty dull in this movie. He didn't have that usual like spunk that he usually has in these kind of movies like Jurassic Park or Independence Day. He was okay. Maybe even like the saving grace of the movie. Humans are just so panicky in these like kind of movies, and they really jumped to like some decisions that I was just really questioning, like, was that necessary? And I did not like Will Smith's son in this movie. I think it's pretty common knowledge, it's not even really a spoiler, but I love that they gave a new actor a chance. I just didn't think he really had that spunk, that Will Smith kind of like charisma, and I felt like, especially because he was really muted by Liam Hemsworth's character, he was basically like second fiddle to him. I would have combined those two characters and given him traits of the Liam Hemsworth character. Have Hiller's kid, I don't even know his name, Dwayne. I would have had him dating the girl, the president's daughter. They like met when they were kids and they like should have had a connection. Why did they avert that? Was it because he's black and it's not believable? Like, I think they just wanted like a movie star in the movie, and I felt like it undercut maybe some of the drama that could have been more like palpable. I mean, come on, people, like make a good movie here. Bill Pullman was pretty good for what he had to do. He committed to it, and I liked him. None of his speeches in this one were as good as the ones in the first one. Big Invasion was alright. Didn't really have that much impact. It wasn't nearly as avant-garde as the first one was. It just didn't have that kind of sense of like authenticity. Again, destruction porn. Not to say that it didn't look cool or that there wasn't like some interesting kind of things going on in the shot composition, but just not enough to really make me care about what was happening in the circumstances. Vivica Fox, poor Vivica. This was nothing more than a paycheck for her. I feel like Emmerich and Zack Snyder are very similar directors. Michael Bay as well. It's like the destruction outweighs like the need for any drama. I get that it's a summer movie, but you know, give me a summer movie that I care about, guys. Give me something I care about. I was just sitting there kind of like rolling my eyes after cheesy scene, after cheesy line, after cheesy circumstance. I really like the aerial battles and the dogfights. I gotta say, some of them even rivaled the Force Awakens fight scenes in the in spaceships and stuff like that. And that was probably the biggest beacon of light in the movie itself. They like Zack Snyder and probably a lot of other directors. They just need to work on balancing that tone. You can't really have like a dramatic death scene and then have a hilarious scene. It's too jarring, and you need to kind of like ease us back into that other part of the tone. I felt like a little bit underserved as a viewer. What are you trying to convey to me is really the question. I really liked Act 3. I think Act 3 is the part of the movie that you're really paying your money for. The big battle. I guess I'm okay with where it's gonna go. It's clear that they're leading into another sequel. Hope they don't wait another 20 years to make it. This movie was not all bad. I definitely would say it is disappointing, as I am a huge fan of the first one. I don't know. Is there really too much more to say about this movie? It was just kind of like lame. I wouldn't say it's like necessarily what other people are saying in that it's like a glorified Sci-Fi Channel original picture. Okay, maybe it is. It's just very flat until that third act. So overall, I'm gonna give this movie a C-. So I really wanted to love this movie. I wanted it to be great. I wanted it to be one of the best movies of the summer, and it just wasn't. Did you see Independence Day Resurgence? What did you think of the movie? Did you think they waited too long? I certainly did. If you did like it, what were some of the things you liked about it? What were some of the things you didn't like about it? Comment below and let me know what you thought. Like, share, and subscribe to Vigilante Mode Reviews. Really cool stuff coming up to celebrate Game of Thrones, the finale. So keep a lookout for that. Until next time, guys.
Vigilante mode deactivate.
Talking about movies.